Do you like to break me down when I'm shattered on the ground? Are you happy? Are you happy? All I wanted was your love. Was I asking for too much? Are you happy? Are you happy? Do you like to break me down when I'm shattered on the ground? Are you happy? Are you happy? All I wanted was your love. Was I asking for too much? Are you happy? Are you happy? You break me down off the ground. You happy? You happy?
Hello my soul family, welcome to the Love Show for June 2021. My name is Christie Ramirez and I'm your soul coach. Today's a very special event. As you see, I'm definitely dressed up the higher level as a princess today. This is a little bit of a wedding gown as well, but let me take out my mic. This is a special show provided by my Spiritual Counseling TV network, and I'm so excited for today's theme for June of 2021 because it's a very illuminating one when it comes to true spiritual love, and that's the only thing that we talk about in this show every month. And what I'm feeling is definitely a lot of pink energy for this month. So this is about innocent love, also being able to return to childhood. Basically reignite our playfulness for life, lightheartedness. A lot of self-love is gonna be required and it's gonna be needed this month to be able to attract the love of your dreams. And even though we've been working on this already for months, this is like this last push, testing you. How much do you really honor, respect, love, and put yourself first? Because that's what a potential lover is gonna see in you. And that's how they're gonna treat you respectively. So we need to teach others how to treat us, basically, because you deserve to be treated right. That's definitely a highlight of this month. It's definitely about owning yourself, your confidence, and telling the world, or should I say showing the world, what you really desire out of love by being the love, embodying the love, walking with Christ, because he is the ultimate example of unconditional love. And this is the kind of love that we want to attract, is one that's unconditional. It's one that's compassionate, empathic, understanding, forgiving per se, and truly going to treat us as they would treat themselves, because this is what this month is about. It is about true love, because we're going to treat ourselves how we want our partner to treat us. So this includes our self-talk in our mind. It includes the peace with which we live by every day. It's the compassion that we show ourselves for wherever we're at on our journey, for our past, where we're at in our present, and then working on fulfilling that potential for the future. And this all begins with self. So this month, again, let me highlight and I guess remind you all about my new You Tell Me Soul Coaching program. This is a program that's going to help you through the transition from the old self into the new self. And this is what's really going to be needed this month, because after next month, I'm feeling like it's like the courtship time. And right now we're in the pre-courtship a little bit, but we are entering it, because I am feeling, let me be honest with you all about how today's love show was set up. I was actually guided to change a few things in my personal life, because I know that this is relatable to the collective energy. One exercise that we can do to attract a relationship of our dreams is by actually making time in our schedule. I've been saying this a lot in our therapy sessions, in our motivational speeches, and even in the love shows. But truly now, this is about putting it into action. So for example, today as I'm filming this, it's actually Friday evening. Friday evening, I like to say that Fridays are love days. whether or not you're in a relationship, it should be a day of bringing in love. So self-love, self-care, and then doing things with your partner. And if you're single, doing the things that you would like to do with a partner. So if you want to go out and enjoy some quality time with your partner, obviously you're going to get all dressed up and dolled up and glamored up to go out with your partner, because you should always present yourselves to each other as your best self, right? So when it comes to settling, for example, this is a kind of love that is not settling. And if you're in a situation where you're in a settled situation, you're with a partner because of convenience or because you've just lost hope in true love, then this is a sign of hope that there's something better out there for you. And part of the theme, I don't want to say it yet until I finish this part, but part of the theme is being willing to be alone and yet happier than settling with a partner and then sacrificing and giving up your happiness, because that's what happens when you settle in a relationship that is not of the highest potential. Perhaps it's not your equal counterpart, and perhaps it's really not true to the spiritual core. Maybe you're just, one of you is either denying it or lying to each other. And this requires honesty, because if you really want to both experience the highest level kind of love, that's ultimate vibration, then you're gonna have to be willing to not settle. And that might mean to be alone for a while. But let me tell you that even in psychology, it's been proven that being single is much healthier for your emotional body, physical body, mental health, and of course spiritual health, than being with a partner by your side that you're not fully happy, because they're taking away from your energy, your vibration, and basically wasting your time per se, right? Because it's not what you would wish if you had the free will choice to do. So think about it. If this was your last day on earth, who would you want to spend it with? And if you haven't met that who yet, what kind of person would you like to spend that time with? This is about journaling and reflecting the qualities that you admire and desire in your dream partner. This love show is to inspire you all that you are deserving of your dream partner, your dream man, your dream woman, whoever is that for you. Everybody deserves this, and this is what I'm here today for. I really want to bring this to hope, to light, myself included. This is about staying optimistic about our love life. No matter what's happening in the present, there's always hope for a better future. So let's get started with the theme for June 2021, which is a whole different theme actually of what I was just introducing today. But that really needed to be said because it has a lot to do with what we're going to talk about today. So it's a beautiful Friday evening, not too late, yet not too early, so I still have the night ahead of me. So I'm excited. Make sure that you also check out my weekly poetry class at my School of Light, where we do bring in romantic themes as well as themes about the spiritual journey. All right, are you ready, everyone? I think I said my name right. My name is Christie Ramirez, and I'm your soul coach. If you want to book a personal soul coaching session, I accept individuals, couples therapy, or even just love and dating coaching, and also for children and families. Book right now at christieramirez.com/booking, and we can get started right away. All of it is via virtual, via phone call, so there's no excuses why you can't seek that help that you need to continue to evolve on your soul journey. And make sure that you check out all my other resources. Become a member of the Spiritual Counseling TV Network. This is a show provided by my Spiritual Counseling TV Network, and in that network, you're going to get exclusive educational content that's just going to expand on what we talk about here, but also give you tools for your journey to help you to achieve ultimate health, which is the embodiment of spiritual body, emotional body, mental body, and physical body. All of it is needed to be in balance and in alignment. So don't miss out. Make sure that you also check out my health and wellness brand, Body, Mind, and Spirit, for extra tools on like meditation, yoga, holistic nutrition, and just other cool stuff like my spirituality retreats that we do every month for every new and full moon. And then of course my School of Light. Become a member because we have a whole bunch of classes there. Check out the curriculum on my website, christieramirez.com/school. All right, everyone. So I'm feeling very, very nice today. I feel very princess like, and I feel like I am deserving of this, and that's how you all should speak to yourselves, because I've been putting in my own work in my healing journey, healing from my past. When I'm in a place in my life, for example, that I am ready for something new that's true and that's spiritually based. And this is where we now surrender. We surrender to faith and to God's plan. Hence the theme for June 2021 is the perfect match. God is the ultimate matchmaker, and I actually read that somewhere in the Bible a long time ago, and it's very true. We are to surrender to God, who is going to be our mate for life, our husband or wife, and God knows why. God knows best. So we need to surrender to who we want it to be, how we even think it's going to look like or manifest in the physical. When I'm telling you to journal, I'm not telling you to journal about what kind of physical qualities they're going to have, whether they're going to have like biceps, or whether they're going to have this certain hair color, or have this certain structure to their face or their body. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the soul. Reading into the soul's true intentions, but personality and qualities is what's gonna really thrive and survive in this world. And that's what a true power couple is, and an inspirational spiritual love union that's sacred and ultimately blessed by God, the one most powerful. And so, like I said, this is the perfect match that's arriving for us. I'm thinking kind of like the Knight of Cups energy, which we are going to bring in a little bit of a reading after, because this is like the chivalrous kind of love. It's like what we began in January, the ancient love, right? How we should all return back to those chivalrous ways, those ways of courting a woman, and of course, how interacting with a man, right? The lady should always be classy, respecting her virtue, and then doing her inner healing work. You know, back in the day, they really used to focus a lot on this. I've been watching a lot of history when it comes to this, and the way that the women were basically trained and just shielded to be the ultimate wife for their king, their prince, someone in high honor, equivalent to them. They really, you know, spent a lot of time on that, on cultivating even their studies, making sure that they were balanced in all areas, beauty, but also physicality, like being, you know, having like being basically healthy, and then also having the knowledge, the brain. So it's like an equal, right? And then the man, the masculine, was also doing the same, making sure they were the best loyal man, being able to provide for their woman, being able to construct and manifest the life of their dreams, being able to protect their divine counterpart, and teaching both the woman and the man, the girl and the boy, how to be a woman and a man. And I feel like this is what June is bringing up. The perfect match has been founded by God, and now it's about finally the ultimate transformation. Like I said, my MUU telling me so much program is going to help. We need to eventually return to innocence, return to the little girl and the little boy within, so that we can heal any perhaps blockages in there, or anything that has been overlooked from the past, and then reigniting that in our present moment, so that that can be the ultimate transformation into being a woman and a man that's balanced in being also childlike, because there's something wrong. Okay, so I decided to get more comfortable so you all can get a view of this beautiful long dress. And I just want to mention as well that I was actually going to wear this dress for my birthday, but it wasn't the time. It wasn't the time for this greatness that's coming. And this is definitely the initiation this month for those who have been doing the work, for the feminines, the divine feminines and the divine masculines. The divine feminines who've been doing the work, who've been loyal to themselves, protecting their virtue, and just waiting patiently for their Prince Charming, are what's finally going to receive that, because they had faith in God, they trusted, and they're still trusting, even though it's difficult sometimes. You know, loneliness can be very difficult for many people, but there are a lot of remedies that you can use to let that loneliness go away. Because remember that loneliness is just a symptom of what's more deeply going on within. When we remember that the first relationship is with God, with our angels, and with our higher self, there's no reason to ever feel lonely. And this is something that I've worked on for the past 2 years to the max and plus, because I spent a lot of time basically alone my whole life, but it's been more exemplified these past 2 years where I've been a lot of hermit, gaining this insight, even reaching enlightenment, which I'm still doing. But it hasn't been like until recent that it's truly been tested. And we really just need to remind ourselves on a daily basis that we're never alone. Our angels surround us, they're here with us. And you know, when you surround yourself and want to learn more about the spiritual journey, it can definitely reveal a lot that there's so much more to life than just the physical per se. And yes, we need to have a healthy balance between the physical and the spiritual, but many people live only on the physical, which is why they experience loneliness, right? Because those are the people who always need to be doing something, or who can never just be alone. And I've seen people like that. I'm like, I just cannot understand. Because let's say, like for me, you know, even though I love being around people, there comes a point that I need my alone time. And then of course, when I'm just alone too much, there's a point when I need to be around people. So that should be the healthy balance, because we are humans at the end of the day, right? But it's not about any extremes. So definitely keep that in mind, because that's going to help you when it comes to love and your relationships, and especially your spiritual journey. Okay, because this is about always choosing love over fear. And this is what A Course in Miracles teaches us here at the Spiritual Book Club at my School of Light. These are Jesus' teachings on how to reach unconditional love, which is the path to God, the path to ascension, the path to heaven. And this is how we bridge heaven on earth, and how we bring heaven on earth, and how we experience heaven on earth. And that's our paraiso, in union, in sacred union with our spiritual lover, or equal beloved counterpart. Like the classic Romeo and Juliet story, right? And you know, William Shakespeare had a lot of truth in those poems, and I really want to start bringing we have already started some of his poems in the poetry class, but there's one specific other poetry or play that he wrote that has to do with specifically the spiritual journey. So I'll definitely be bringing that up, most likely tomorrow, that I'll be also doing the fashion show. So I'm going to do these shows very early in the month so that we can get the energies early and have them with us to help us in the month. I know that before I was filming them a little later during the month, but this is also about, you know, time shifts, timeline shifts as well. I'm experiencing things are speeding up. So these spiritual love unions are being sped up because it's needed. Okay, this is some cosmic insight for you all, just a little fun fact. But it's what I've been revealed. There's a lot of cosmic unknown things happening that are affecting our human life. And this is why higher beings, God and our angels, the Cupids, the romance angels are really working hard behind the scenes to bring the spiritual lovers together, because it's needed. They're the warriors on the forefront of the battle, the spiritual battle. And those are the people that are being fortified. And when they're both fortified and come together, it's just an unbreakable shield. And the light workers are needed to share the light, right? It's just like it's needed, because light workers alone sometimes, obviously, you know, when you have a solid relationship with God, you become also untouchable, and that's what we need to reach. But when you have a solid spiritual partner by your side, it gets doubled and double exemplified, so your potential is expanded. And I'm not saying that you can't reach your fullest potential on an individual level, but I'm just saying that there's an extra level after that. And that's why the love show is so important, and why I dedicate so much time to love. So it's not only about the comfort that we desire someone by our side, wanting to do things with someone by our side, wanting to share our intimate experiences with someone by our side, but it also holds a higher purpose spiritually in God's plan. So we need to keep this in mind. It's very important. This is why it's very important as well to have self-control, to be loyal to our path and resist any temptations, just like Jesus did. And this is by you protecting your innocence And then just bringing in more lighthearted, choosing love over fear, and letting that be a graceful choice in and of itself, right? Don't choose love over fear after you've already given so much energy to the fear, right? Because that's like a waste of emotion, a waste of a day perhaps. Let's say you had a bad day, which everybody is entitled to have a bad day per se, because nobody's perfect. But when you just continue to practice this, love over fear, it becomes much easier for you to snap out of it. And then every day can be your best day. Live your life as if it were literally your last day. Be the love and give the love to yourselves. Love others as if it was your last chance to love. And then do what you wish you would do if it was your last day, right? If you want to be with your dream partner, but let's say you're settling in a relationship, what if it was your last day on earth? Would you want to stay in that settled relationship? Or would you want to be in your dream love union? And let's say that if you did, you had more life after that because you just brought more happiness and joy again. You brought the sun back in your life. I'm feeling like that's a strong energy for this month. Okay, so let's get started. Alright, so I'm bringing my Botticelli cards. He is the special one that I reserved for this show. Alright, let's just get comfortable. Be in the moment and enjoy every moment as well of the courtship, the beginning phases. We got the Strength card in reverse. How appropriate. This is the number 11 card. So there is more strength needed, perhaps with resistance of temptations or just self-control. It could just be more inner spiritual strength with how you react to life, maybe how you react to whatever you're experiencing. And this is about taming the lion within you. Because remember that in order to be in peace, we actually need to be in this inner peace, not in this chaos. And I feel like this is what God is telling us. We need to be willing to have more strength as a single person. And then knowing as well that this union between the masculine and the feminine, the divine masculine and divine feminine, is going to be harmonious because they complement each other. You see the divine feminine taming the divine masculine here, but the divine masculine is loving the nurturance from his divine feminine, and the divine feminine is learning from the divine masculine as well, gaining some empowerment. Yeah, there's a 7 of Wands, like a wounded energy. This is what we're needing to snap out of as well, like a victim from the past or wounds from relationship failures, and having the inner strength to conquer those fears, those insecurities, those doubts, because that's what's holding people back from the trueness. And there's a card here that wants to come up. Yes, the 5 of Swords in reverse, which in this deck it's the ego death, because there's a headless person there, and this is about letting go of inner battles, and of course letting go of the ego, which brings up fear. And this is how you reach the Emperor and the Empress energy. The Emperor is someone who's assertive, knowing his worth and knows their divinity. This is the number 4 card, Major Arcana. Reaching emotional stability is what I'm feeling, is what's going to bring in this love. And of course, physical security can also mean financial issues, can mean, you know, making sure you have shelter, food, the basic necessities in life. But when you bring in God, He will provide no matter where you're at on your journey. So if this is a reason why you're settling, God is telling you that it's not necessary, because He will provide for you so long as you stand in your truth, the sword energy, and proclaim it no matter what, because you have the world at your fingertips, and you can have your dreams come true when you visualize upon them. Beautiful message. This is like a beginning energy for the month. Let's get more of the transition into like the end of June. So let's ask about the transition as we enter the last few days of June. So what's like the middle of June energy? Same thing, but maybe still in this Seven of Wands energy, which is again the wounded energy. And we got the Fool card in reverse. So maybe not trusting the leap of faith. Maybe there's a lack of self-confidence, maybe even in courting the person that you want, believing that you deserve the dream girl, the dream boy, the dream man or woman of your life. I feel like this is an issue. Because maybe we got the Justice in reverse. So this is about past unfairness, past failures is what I'm feeling, past perhaps even lack of inner balance, right? And this is what's causing lack of harmony. And what if you're in a lack of harmony state, your self-esteem and self-confidence is going to also suffer, and it's going to be much more difficult to be able to go after what you want, conquest that woman or man of your dreams, right? Because there's just still something that's still being worked on to create this balance from within, both for the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And let's ask about the end of June. Want to come up. Wow, Nine of Pentacles. So like I feel like the end of June. So again, when I began, you see, these are just confirmations, but it is giving us more insight. This month of June is about self-nurturance, self-love, self-care, returning to innocence, bringing in more playfulness, even if it's on your own, and bringing in more romance by doing the things that you would like to do in a partnership. And then by the end of June, we have the Knight of Pentacles. There's like an offering here of perhaps an offering. There's a lot of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles. Nine is always about the completion of a cycle, but maybe there's like an offering of like either help or an offering that has to do with money. Maybe like, the courtship requires money in a sense, because it's about taking someone on a date, but not necessarily, because maybe all you need to do, which remember how they used to do it back in the day, is like at least take a walk together, do things that are just going to bring you together. But I feel like it's the beginning stages of this abundance, and it's seen by the divine masculine because it's innocent on the white horse, and this is like the spiritual angel coming up. But the Knight of Pentacles, maybe both counterparts are also working on their pentacle, literally working on their financial independence, stability, security, because maybe they feel like there's not enough. That's what I'm getting now. You see, this person looks a little bit like they're at a loss or they don't have enough. So maybe this is a worry, but it's unnecessary worry, because eventually we will get there. And remember that when you're in partnership, this manifestation of abundance can actually be much easier, because like I said, you double the force together. So let's see perhaps what's a guidance with this final energy. Maybe this worry of lack of financial stability, or maybe feeling like you don't have enough, or maybe that you're not enough, right? Because when you conquer someone, there's like two type of people, right? At least for the divine masculines, there's people that conquer with a lot of confidence, either A, because they're in the healed state, that they know they can offer that woman happiness, stability, and loyalty. And then there's just others that is just more egotistical, right? Like a conquest kind of game. And I feel like, of course, that's not spiritual love, but that's also the good thing. If the divine masculines are not coming up, it's also a good sign, because maybe they just want to be the best for the divine feminine. And the divine feminine should be understanding about this and should be compassionate, because everybody has their own shadows to face and their own inner healing work to do. And the divine feminines are no exclusion, because they're still doing their own healing work as well. And it could also be financial, but it could also just be self-worth issues. And so a guidance here, we have the Nine of Chalices, which this is like a big round table. The people here feeling lonely is what I'm getting. And then Seven of Swords in reverse, letting go of deception. And there's Jesus here, actually. Jesus is here helping to purify. And he's with Mother Mary, and I feel like Mary Magdalene. Letting go of the crucifixion, you know, letting go of being harsh on yourself. And you know, that's what the cross symbolizes, right? You know, sometimes I wear my cross chain, but it still symbolizes, you know, sometimes it can just mean that you're being hard on yourself. You're crucifying yourself. And maybe this is an issue for both the divine feminines and the divine masculines. And to bring in innocent love, we need to be starting with ourselves. We need to be loving towards ourselves, kind towards ourselves, and have compassion where we're at. Like we would with our partner, with a child, literally. And final guidance for this entire month of June. A message of hope. Let's see if there will be, for those who will be in early courtship, I'm feeling like that's what's coming. This perfect match. 4 of Pentacles in reverse. And the 3 of Cups in reverse. So no union yet is what I'm getting. But again, Mother Mary shows up as well. Again, self-care, self-nurturance, returning to innocence, the Jesus baby. You see, because there's still not enough to give. And it can even just be emotional, right? When you enter a relationship, you need to make sure that your own emotional cup is filled. Because if you enter a relationship before you're emotionally ready, you're going to be giving from a place that you can't give, and you're actually going to drain yourself even more. So there's still more of this, and it can also be related to finance because it's a pentacle card after all. But it's also emotional because the 3 of Cups in reverse could be alignment of body, mind, and spirit. Lack of it, maybe more of it is needed. Maybe spiritual practice is what's going to help us. Spiritual practice is literally A Course in Miracles, reading those teachings and incorporating it into daily life. Of course, meditation, yoga, and holistic nutrition help us, but that's more on a physical level. On a spiritual level, we need A Course in Miracles, and that's why Jesus is showing up, and Mother Mary, because that's her baby boy, right? And Mother Mary wants us to follow her baby boy Jesus, his teachings, because he was so innocent. He was the perfect being that walked the earth. He, if anything, is our perfect match, because he will always give us this unconditional love no matter what. And that's also the message of hope. Have compassion for even your spiritual lover, because at the end of the day, we're still incarnated as humans. And we need to remember this, right? Mother Mary and Jesus were perfect, and we talk about this in my Ancient Wisdom series every Sunday on the School of Light, in our sacred prayer circles, and even in our Bible study class, and in the spiritual book club, and of course in Miracles, because they were perfect examples of what it is to truly unconditionally love. And we can learn from them and be more like them every day. And slowly but surely we will reach this perfection. And then that's when you can reach this enlightened state. And of course, then that's when the King of Cups shows up, King of Chalices, which was in reverse, but this is eventually a message of hope, what to look for, your end vision. And it's a beautiful kind of honor here, because it's like truly divine honor here. It's like red passion, true love. Red roses, which I'm bringing for tomorrow's fashion show. That's what I actually had this week with me in my garden, were these beautiful pink, kind of hot pink fuchsia roses, as well as red roses, which they're actually really wide open, but they're gonna be wider even tomorrow. These were wanting to be here first because they matured more. And that's what this is also telling us. This is about spiritual maturity, spiritual, emotional, mental, and of course physical maturity. All of this is going to bring us to the spiritual love, because we're going to be able to conquer everything else, be the warriors of light, and prevail that God needs us to be, prevail the fear, the darkness, and be these warriors of light that God needs us to be. And then that's when the warrior and the warrioress come together in union, right? Like the Superman and the Wonder Woman, the Amazonian man and woman come together in the spiritual love card, right? It's kind of like the lover's card. And that's the conclusion for today, because that is our message of hope. And I hope that you enjoyed today's love show. I had so much fun filming today. And bring in creativity. That's what's going to help also heal the sacral chakra, which is where sexual wounds are tied in, which could also be one of the wounds coming up. Sexual wounds can come up for both divine feminines but also for divine masculines, because any past relationships, remember that men can also be used by women who were not obviously sacred, right? And of course feminines can also have been used by past masculines that were not sacred. Whatever the case may be, creativity is going to help you transmute that sexual wound, that sexual hurt and pain into something beautiful, and use this creative energy wisely. And then this sacred sexuality is what's going to be manifested and alchemized by setting your intention on this and living by this truth that we are all spiritual warriors of God and of light. Have an amazing, beautiful month of June 2021. Make sure that you check out all my resources again. Everything is on my website, ChristieRamirez.com. Please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I will see you all next time. Make sure that you also sign up to my free mailing list to receive my weekly and monthly newsletters. In my monthly newsletters, there's an extra blog article that I write based on today's show, as well as the fashion show. So you don't want to miss out on those extra divine heavenly messages that I write. And of course, make sure that you purchase my journal, The Rebirth, your 2021 Gratitude and Spiritual Guidance Journal. It's available on Amazon. All of it is on my website in the shop section. Purchase it. It's going to help you to stay grateful on a daily basis, and it's going to give you that spiritual guidance as well, extra on a monthly basis. And of course, help you with soul growth and help you to continue to evolve on your spiritual journey. Namaste.